Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Mortanius, and we are back with some more Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. One moment, folks. Sounds like we got a bit of chop. Let's see if that handled it. As I was saying, welcome back, and when we last left off, we had managed to finally rescue Dr. Tassoni, as well as learn a few more things about some of our allies. And that apparently we need higher stats, not so much abilities, in order to use our Paragon Renegade instances. Guess I had forgot that since it had been so long since I had to think about it. But if you folks like what you see and want to see more of me as we continue on, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists. Follow the links to my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links to my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And get comfortable. Let's get into this. One moment.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Sorry about that, folks. Oh yeah. Might have to avoid him. We'll have to see if coming back to the Citadel is something we can do right now. Because we're not able to actually get past him, are we?
Rear Admiral Mihailovic, Fifth Fleet.
We weren't told to expect you, sir. I would have prepared a formal greeting.
Spare me the pleasantries. I command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You and the Normandy were slated for my unit after shakedown. And the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship, and you.
Sorry about that. I had to adjust a couple of things.
I still serve the Alliance, sir. As a Spectre, I can advance our interests to the Council.
You still know what color your blood is, Shepard? I don't begrudge the politician's decision to throw you to the Council. It's an opportunity. I do begrudge this over-designed piece of tin, though.
Over-designed, you say? Interesting. Let's hear your perspective.
You don't approve of the Normandy's design?
This experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, we had to make nice to the Turians, throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
I can respect that. Go for it.
We'd be honored to show her to you, Admiral.
I'll just bet. Wait here. I won't be long. Commander, I'm not happy.
Uh-oh. Okay. What
What
about?
did you find out of order?
Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
That's one.
Modified Turian style. They prefer commanders looking over their subordinates rather than in the middle of them. We wanted to see how effectively they can command with that setup.
Reasonable goal, but they should have studied that in a lab rather than on a frontline warship. I had to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits of element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
We can loiter in an enemy system and monitor traffic, or drop infiltration teams on enemy worlds. Normandy can be more effective than the Solarian STG.
Maybe. But that's not the job of a proper warship. We're supposed to find and kill the enemy fleet, not count how many times their garrison goes to the bathroom. And we need to talk about your crew, Commander. Krogan? Asari? Turians? What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
Between Saren and the Geth, we have enough enemies out here. Treating other species with suspicion and distrust won't win hearts and minds.
That assumes the hearts and minds are worth winning. That hasn't been proven yet. You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
None, sir.
Very well. I don't agree with any of this, but your reasons seem sound. I'll be submitting a report to the Joint Military Council. It will not be as negative as I'd planned. Good hunting, Commander Shepard. Make us proud.
Yep, I was worried about that. Fantastic. So at least for now, the Citadel's off limits. Damn it. Trying to make sure I get access to the utmost set of choices. Even if I don't take them all, I want access to them all. Han and Dis. Gemini Sigma. Dis, why does that sound familiar to me? Wonder if I might be thinking of a later reference. Maybe not. We'll have to see. Alright. Okay. That's the target. Light metal. Oh. And leveled up on the way down. That's funny. Sure. Actually. Yeah. Something I might end up needing to do. But I don't know if I can yet. Advanced Unity. For 40% health and 75% shields instead of 30% health and 50% shields. Yes, sir. Singularity and one of the pistols. Why not? Go ahead and I was gonna say I'll max out Corey and Machinist. I'll add one to hacking, one to damping, and then yeah, add the rest to Corey and Machinist. Rex, but a advanced shield boost. I'll take it. Barrier. Warp. Advanced warp. Add something to fitness. Alright. Let's see if we can go open that. Nope. Should have started early. Don't know if I can even do it anyway, regardless. Looks like I can. That's not even marked on my map anyway. Radar, sure.
Redeploying.
Heavy metals. Bring it on.
Redeploying.
ID tag of one of the League of One. Cool. Uh-oh. This area is particularly flat. Okay. Okay. Last episode had to deal with a thresher maw. Most areas that are wide open like this tend to... Oh, I'm definitely getting attacked. There's an item in the center of this area. Unless they change the rule. Oh, look at that. They changed the rule. Alright. And we're freezing to death. Proton rounds and basically anti-personnel rounds. The ammo won't really start to get good until you start getting like variations. Things like Inferno rounds, which I'm waiting on them. Inferno and incendiaries, yes sir. It's actually pretty surprising. These thrusters are actually pretty powerful. Too bad they weren't in the first game or the original. They fit. I mean, image-wise, I don't even think they changed anything in order to, like, make that make sense. No point in running up that hill just to take a shot straight to the gut. Hold up, something ain't right. I think I missed like an entrance. Cause I can climb, we all know I can. Oh, okay, well, I guess there it is then. And we're climbing, and we're climbing, and we're feeling it. I'm leaving. No, 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 no way.
Securing point.
I think it's secure. But, you know, thanks. Proton rounds, decoy, recoil, dampener. Sure, why not? Combat sensor. Hammerhead rounds and accuracy. All right. Oh, I didn't entirely. Had been a bit of a bit. We've got this one, huh? Okay. Why would I want to kill the target I just set up to die? Yeah, we're probably gonna die, but oh no. Rex, you okay, just wanted to be sure, you know, we were wanted to be sure we were killing. Yeah, we're good.
Rally round.
Yo, if you can wait just a minute there, guy. Cool. There we go.
Not in my line of sight.
Okay. Hey Chuck, do you think he thieved me? No, I think you're alright, Dante. Just wait. I think you'll be fine. Hey Chuck, what was that? I don't know, Dante. Let's wait and see. Chuck, it's happened again. What's going on? I don't know, Dante. It's not happening to me. Dante? Okay. Okay, I guess I didn't tell you to switch to your shotgun.
I can't see him.
Then see him. Crime Lord defeated. Helena was right. These guys had quite the operation going, but that's all going to change. One down, just one more to go. Alright.
Area secured.
Regroup!
Wasn't as smooth as I wanted it. Nor as it was interestingly odd.
To me.
Cryo explosive and kinetic stabilizer. Combat scanner. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, just a regular scanner. Misremembering something. Need to get you out your shotgun. Rather off your shotgun, out your shotgun. Excuse me. Ah, kinetic buffers. Wondered when I come across that. That would probably be good for Rex. Yep. Okay, nothing new so far really. And everything that was new has already been equipped, so it is what it is. He says as he finds more loot. Pistol and 2 assault rifles. Oh. From the Halliat Armory. Yeah. Tends to be good gear. Whoa. You don't need all that firepower. Trust me on this. I have most definitely done the research. Ended up getting two off of that, and I never used a single one during that fight. That means I either forgot to, or the game didn't replenish my metagel after my last mission. Two biotic amps. Hell yeah. Light Quarian and human armor. If that ain't kind of perfect timing, it ain't gonna really help me like I'd like. Well, actually, yeah, I gain more than I lose. Oh, I really don't. Looking at that color, not on a man. Jesus. That's easily worth it. Woo, Prodigy 4. Yes, sir. No power bonus, but duration and cooldown. Yes, sir. Go ahead and save, since that actually tend to be it actually ends up being some pretty good loot, especially this early on. Still to this day kills me that they made it a point to make the camera simply tighten in the first game to make you look like you're going faster when you're trying to sprint out of combat. It's like, why not just make me faster, or why not make it to where I don't look that way? That was weird. Okay. I wonder. Oh wait. If you can talk to your people, not necessarily like to progress like deeper relationships, but like if they'll tell you something new, kind of thing. Okay, hold up. What? Oh, this and the Hades Gamma. They're not both here. It would be foolish for them to be so close together, so relatively close together. But Antaeus. Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I jump to Cluster Farinata. Jartar, huh? Nero. They have chosen intentionally desolate planets, ice. hard to find, hard to track. And ice, like sand, tends to keep its secrets. We're starting to discover a lot of them secrets now in our modern day, and it's kind of scary because who knows what all is stored beneath the ice. I mean, we found, I think, something like 100,000 new like viruses in and of itself already. Just from the ice melting like a full inch or something, or like a full layer in certain areas. System, wrong planet. Yeah. Garrus. Guy. Old pal. Hands off. Get lift unlocked for her and actually get it. Projects a sphere of powerful contra-gravity. Any object or creature caught in the area will be lifted into the air. Enemies will be temporarily immobilized until they fall back to the ground. Each point spin increases duration. 6 seconds, 60-second cooldown, and 80% accuracy cost. Lift everything within a 4-meter radius of the target within into the air, rendering enemies immobile and unable to attack. Drops them when it expires. Go ahead and add one to scientists, one to first aid, and then of course the throw and lift. Garrus, we've been sitting on you, Garrett, bruh. Alright, let's get that Turian agent topped out. Accuracy with weapons went from 7% and damage with assault and sniper rifles went from 5 to 19% and 9 respectively. Get assassination in which is a sniper skill. Only available when using sniper rifles. Next shot will inflict damage equal to 200% of weapon DPS. Purges weapon heat upon use. Yeah. Shield boost. Yeah, let's go with damping. It was weird. Acted like it was stuck for a second. Okay. Well, damn. Hammerhead rounds it is. Syndicate hideout. Figure I'll go ahead and hit this other stuff simply because once I'm done with the syndicates, I'm used to kind of like just heading out. I'm done usually. That's usually how I tend to do these planets, is I'll knock out the side stuff or all the other extra stuff. Then I'll focus on the main thing. So all that's left is just to either roam around the planet if I so choose, or head out.
Just lead the way.
Platinum. Cool. Oh, I didn't know. The hell was all that? Nothing like a group picture. If y'all want to replenish your forces while I come back, after I do a couple of things and some stuff, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. It'll give me some more XP, you know. Rah rah and all that. Guess not. Okay. I was thinking booby trap. What the hell? Okay. That was partly where it started. This is where it ends. League of One medallion. Shame. Flip it. There we go. Good girl. Hold on, folks. Sounds like Chop is back again. Alright, let's see if that finally did it. Good lord. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, and the sorry about the squeaking. Damn, these are some these are some good earbuds. A good mic rather. Dealing with this thermos over here. Figured while I was waiting for the audio to write itself, as I was also adjusting, why not top off my coffee? Okay, I'm like, another one? Alright, where's your corpse? See now things are shifting already. See? We have armor piercing rounds, which is what you start out with, and this is the way it always is throughout all the first game at least. Maybe the second, no, not the second or third. You get differences for stuff like that. I'll go over that. Right? We have armor piercing, level 3, and then we have tungsten, level 4, which is now the next rung up, like outright the next rung up. They'll add better types and all of that as we go, like I was mentioning earlier with the like inferno ammo. It is a very good find this early though. Kind of makes me think we might end up getting the ammo types, better ammo types a little earlier rather. You know, folks, two things I do want to make it a point to establish with this channel. One, I'm all for like backseat gaming and things like that. I'm not the only one effectively playing the game. Just so long as there aren't spoilers with it. But two, you know, if you folks have any suggestions for any games you want to see, come up. Ah, he's already using his rifle. Who knows? Your recommendation could end up my choice. Seriously though, I'm always willing to check out another game. What the hell? Never mind, I have my answer. Yeah, which one of y'all did that? Was that you, Garrus? I wasn't you. Actually, yes it was. Because it's recharged. Alright. Now, bringing multiple people over here. We're good on that, bro. Garrus, how is it that I'm a better sniper than the bird people? Couldn't enter that cover before I got you, huh? Alright. Always doing stuff. Nobody need all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I know they ain't letting this dude kill me. The only reason I came out here was because of that. I jammed, basically jammed his weapon. What kind of logic is that? Second crime lord defeated. That's both of them. No doubt Helena Blake will be overjoyed to learn that these two scum are no longer a problem.
Got him.
Incendiary rounds, baby. Incendiary explosives. Yes, sir. See, now we're starting to branch out even deeper. Turian silverback armor. Not bad. I need a shop. I got some things to get rid of. Some stuff to do. Now I'll switch over to these incendiary rounds in a heartbeat. Incendiary rounds consist of a thermite paste which clings to and burns through nearly any known substance. As far as I'm concerned, that's organics, that's armor, that's shields. Yes, sir. Bring that bad boy on, Captain. I'll let him take it. I was gonna save it for somebody else, but I'll let him take it. Oh wow. Hey hey, there it is. Yeah, see, can recoil damper, kinetic stabilizer. Could really use some first aid interfaces. Like bad. Alright. I'm fine. I just have a lower health bar, alright? That was weird. It made me turn around. Probably could have healed, but it's alright. It's crazy I keep getting Metagel. I could have swore. Maybe I didn't stop him. And I actually need to now. Or it might be based on difficulty. I never thought about that. It's just with these first aid interfaces, you rarely end up needing Metagel on a consistent basis like that. Especially if you pay attention to what you're doing and you're careful. especially on this difficulty. But to be honest, if you ain't playing Mass Effect on the hardest difficulty, you're kind of missing out. Like, you really are. The Mass Effect series as a whole, you really are. All right. On to the third target location, which is to meet up with her. At Fortuna in the Horsehead Nebula. You know, I wonder if they still play instances of the Godfather out here. My father made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He told him it was either his signature or his brains on the paper. Tyrion insignia. Good. Good. Amaranthine, huh? Forgot that's what this was called. You know, mentioning Amaranthine, there's a world that you come across. Weird. There's a world that you come across in this game that has very specific features that are specific in such a way that people think that the Mass Effect universe and the Dragon Age universe are actually the same thing. Matter of fact, the theory is that Thetis is not Earth, but it's actually one of the planets that you come across at another point. If memory serves, we've been to the planet. Or moon, one of the two. Iridium. I will take it. One more for the sky. Say hello to the local nothing in all directions. Uh-oh. I keep saying that, and I don't know why I'm tripping. I don't think this place has an atmosphere. Explosives 3. Yep, okay, I already got it. Is that what I think it is? That is a market increase. No, no, no. No, no. No. High manual rate of fire. Okay. So it's more of a rapid fire semi-auto rifle. Good. Hey, hey. I do like some of the changes that they did do for the weapons. Like how sniper rifles now are a different type depending on what you have. Some assault rifles are different depending on what you have. Like I do like that. It is just a bit jarring at times. So used to that not being the case in the first game anyway. Don't want to be doing that again anytime soon. Yeah, hoping I'd be able to just use that section instead of having to focus on the smaller area. As much as the Mako can really climb, I think they might have actually decreased a bit of its traction to make up for you having these thrusters. I mean, I don't remember you ever being able to just go up a sheer wall, but more sheer than that, sure. They might also weirdly take like rock composition and shape into effect when it comes to this kind of thing in this game. Interesting if that's the case. Complex mathematics too. Military insignia. Dun, 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 dun. The middle of nowhere. Okay. No, it does fire about the speed I expected. And then they turn pistols into burst weapons. It's nice if you like burst weapons. I generally don't. How do you know I need multiple bullets? How do you know I only need 3 bullets? It's ball busting.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude. With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
Yeah, see, I'm not in the business of handing criminal organizations from two other criminals over to one criminal who worked with those criminals and now wishes to consolidate all that power in one spot.
I killed them because they deserve it. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
Surely you don't think that necessary. Under my leadership, this organization will restrict itself to gambling and smuggling illegal technologies. These crimes are hardly worth your time. If you press the issue, my assistants are very well equipped to deal with you.
Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, what am I missing?
In that case, you're free to go. But if I find you in any slavery operations, I'll take you down without hesitation.
You won't. This organization can be quite profitable without trafficking in slaves or drugs. Here's your payment. I'm certain that you'll find it more than adequate. Now, if you'll excuse me, my men become nervous in the presence of law enforcement agents. Goodbye, Shepard.
A soft tone sounds from your hard source computer at Helena's deposit. As Helena's deposit enters your accounts, she bows graciously and withdraws as her men escort you out. It's doubtful you'll see her again. Well, nothing else. You folks are getting a master class in needing to potentially solve other problems before you do some of this other stuff. Like I don't know what's going on. There's one other thought I have, and I'd really rather not do it. And the only reason I'd rather not do it is because it's kind of spoilery. Well, not spoilery, but it's like excessively fast kind of thing. Okay. I have two ideas. One I'd prefer to wait on. One I'd really prefer to wait on. And in truth, both of those situations could actually intermingle slash swap back and forth quite easily. Hold on. Looks like I've got one choice. Well, there it is, folks. No, it's actually something I meant to do as
Yes, Commander.
I
Carry
doubt
on.
he'll say
Yes, sir.
anything that, well, hold on, he might.
Yes, Commander.
I think he actually might.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
I trust you, Commander. If you think they belong here, then so do I.
Carry on,
Okay.
Presley.
Yes, sir.
Never mind. If he doesn't, they might, but we'll see. He usually doesn't have anything new to say, but again, we'll see. My locker's still closed or open.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
Well, I mean, it's not surprising, but yeah, it's good that they are aware of what all we're dealing with.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Or their L2 flare up.
Right, Dr. Chakwas mentioned those.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
L3s get headaches too? I thought it was just L2s. Interesting. They still around?
I haven't heard anything about Kinetics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they botched their training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Huh.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
That makes sense. Not knowing what to do, where to start, you could very easily cause something far worse. And since you're effectively dealing with kind of reality bending in its own way, who knows what you can do to a planet. What about these experts you speak of, these choice of teachers not helping?
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
Yeah, I can understand that. Because this has to have happened at least within like a decade of the war being over. Interesting. Why not the Asari?
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they secretly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Okay. Made it look like we just came upon this skill of our own skill. Gotta love bullshit. It is what it is. You had a bad teacher?
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Yep. It sounds like it. Free pass, huh? I could ask if they've ever busted him, but if he had a free pass, there was nobody to bust.
You're a hell of a biotic, though. You must have done something right.
Well, I got to where I am because I took initiative. Good or bad, I own that. Pretty much despite Kinetics. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
Hey, thanks for the history lesson, bro.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni.
We've already gone over that.
I mean, if you like the bookish. Only by Commander.
That's already been established, homeboy. Don't hurt yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Tell me about yourself.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you.
Is that what that
making
was?
a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're extremely short-lived compared to you. So it stands to reason we come off as high-strung.
But we don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
True on both counts.
You can't argue with results.
No, but there are consequences.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as a bully. You run over anyone who gets in your way. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
It's my responsibility to give these people a better perception of our species, because we age rapidly relative to other species. The nonsense that people like to put on your shoulders, bruh. But the point remains, it's a problem that we have to deal with.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what happened on Akuz. The fact that you survived shows a remarkable strength.
I mean, it's not exactly something I go over like that, but you could have asked if you really wanted to know.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Is there? Interesting.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
She is special to me. I got no lie to tell you.
I care about Ash. A lot.
I thought so. Still, I feel as if there is also some attraction between us, Shepard.
There is.
You're right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
You literally just clarified every reason why it makes perfect sense. We've been together a short time, so we haven't had the chance to build bonds, but the time we've had together, all of it's been intense emotion, intense survival, intensity. I suspect regardless of species, women love intensity. Add to that, two different species, extremely exotic. Nothing in common. Extremely foreign. Extremely exotic. Extremely mysterious.
These things never make sense. They just happen, and we get swept up in the storm.
It sounds so chaotic, so dangerous.
Shepard over here spitting that game.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. You. I need some time.
You're looking for a protector more than you think. But take the time you need. It is what it is.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
You may be capable. You may be intelligent. That's all well and good, and I can respect that. That never stops y'all from wanting to be the little spoon. It just makes it harder to achieve.
Commander, good to see you.
What's up, G?
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I honestly don't doubt that. Considering we work at CSIC and millions end up at the Citadel probably daily, not to mention how many millions live on the Citadel. Oh yeah.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
In what way?
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
There's always organ harvesters and black markets for that kind of stuff. There's always. It's pitiful, honestly. I mean, if you're gonna have a black market for it, at least have a black market for it that leads in the right direction. Like, damn.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station
Damn.
in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
To a degree.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development. But there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Really now?
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't
Understandable.
work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay
Yeah.
up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
4 balls.
Somebody's making a killing out there.
Jesus Christ. 4 spots to get hit in. At no time shall thine jewels be grazed, let alone boxed like a speed bag.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Interviewing, you say,
You mean threaten? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Utterly disgusting.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
Yep. People like him are not at all surprising, but it is so interesting when you find out that they actually exist. It's like
I
Jesus.
hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. They wouldn't listen.
It's possible that he would, and more than likely he would, and more than likely they were dead anyway, but it was correct. Such damage could get people on the Citadel killed. If it legitimately as cold as it is, if it wasn't so close to the Citadel, I'd say open fire. They're already dead. Literally, they're already... unless you can manage to disable his ship and knock him out at the same time, they're already dead. He's already proven who he is. The only reason they're there is literally as hostages. And once that becomes useless, they become storage containers. There's no way, shape, and form he was letting them people go. You have an extremely slim chance to somehow Star Trek your way over there and stun him before he manages to kill you, or before he manages to kill somebody that he captured. So yeah, in truth, the only option is, I mean, with it being so close, I agree with him.
Well, it's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
Nah. Yeah, see, I was right. I mean, they sent the military after him. Military definitely had vessels to catch him. They chose not to fire because they knew what he would do. The second that anything was disabled, hostages are dropping.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
All right then. We'll do that.
What do you want, Shepard?
What's wrong with you, Rex?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Like?
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
Interesting.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
He wanted to go out swinging for no reason.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding. at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
That's not bad. Especially from a species so battle-laden and battle-focused. That's very much not bad.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Okay. Let's see who didn't stick to being honorable.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Interesting.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
Well, damn. Talking about a family reunion. Ugh.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard? I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
Damn. No relatives? Really? Okay. Go on.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father.
Okay.
I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
Interesting.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Ton Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
So long.
All right.
Shepard.
You'll be there when I find him.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
Carry on.
Aye, aye.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Look, recharged and ready to go.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
I mean, you will. We still got quite a while to go, but is there anything specific you're looking for?
What are you hoping to find?
Usually people bring back something like a derelict ship we can use for salvage, but I need something bigger. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet.
My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
Yeah. The trappings of power and having to deal with the mistakes or the advantages of those who came before you.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
Well, I mean, if you're effectively saying that your father is one of the ruling class, of course they did. They don't want to have to deal with a pilgrimage early or whatever the hell else.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
Yeah, it's usually the way that kind of thing goes. And it also means that people tend to expect the world of you, not so much you being better. They expect the world of you because that person's doing this job. So naturally, it should be in your blood, huh? Whether it is or ain't. Who says I have a desire to be a member of the Admiralty Board?
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage. Something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
That is pitiful. You can literally bring something back that's valuable, that will be considered valuable for anybody else, but for you, no. How dare you waste your time coming back with that? No. So what happens if you come back with 2 ships? Yeah, 2 ships. Either way, we're already doing something massive, so you know, they'll just have to get over it.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
True, but the Geth still serve Saren. So if we can do something about these Geth, that may in the end help you as well as the greater galaxy.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Interesting.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now, I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Well said.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Yeah, that's usually how we deal with grief. We don't hide from it. We put more time into work, so we have more time out of work. It also helps us focus and cut through it all to deal with it. Says her mother sort of blended into the background, so I guess she wasn't an overly prominent figure. Not gonna lie, they kind of describe that horribly. I know full well where they're going with that statement. They just describe it horribly. Mother was there. I mean, she was alright. That's a little bit of what that what your daddy taught you too, huh? Whether you like it or not, whether he liked it or not. Say, well, I mean, never settle for anything less. But Mom, what are you doing?
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with, and he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant, like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
That's responsibility. It weighs you down in such a way that even, like a lot of the times, like for instance, whenever, let's say you're out and about with like a girlfriend or a sister or something as a guy, a lot of the times women wonder why it is men don't really have a great deal of fun, and we have a bit of fun, but we're on the job. We're making sure you're safe. We're making sure something crazy don't pop up. We're on the job. We can't really relax like that. We can never really relax like that. The only time we can is at home, and we can't really do that either a lot of the times. Your father wasn't really around as often. That was because of him being a politician as well as being a soldier. His attention was always elsewhere. Yeah, because he always had the responsibility of others on his shoulders. Always. I mean, you said he was pretty much a prominent figure even before he was on the board.
Sounds like a tough upbringing.
Like I said, it wasn't easy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was... Come to think of it, I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
Well, setting aside whatever issues, in terms of him not being somebody who smiled often, I'm not really a grinner either. But, again, you said it yourself, all that responsibility, he ain't really got much to smile about. And yeah, you said he loved you, but he never really showed the usual way, the usual affection toward your children and all of that. And it's understandable. It's too bad, but it does make sense. What he did was constantly distant, so much so that over time they kept becoming two different people. Even without that being the case, what he did made it hard for him to go for the easier moments, the calmer, quieter, happier moments. And then when he lost the person that made it easier for him to do that, his wife, well, that was kind of all she wrote in terms of that.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
He didn't shut down, he locked in. But it was the best, worst kind of locking in. It's locking in he couldn't help, but at the same time...
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
It's the whole... my father couldn't really show me the attention that I would have liked, but at the same time he had responsibilities, but at the same time I still had to deal with this. It's the whole you can't be in two places at once problem. And it's not like she blames him for the fact that he can't be in two places at once, but you still were busy a lot. There's no way around that. Regardless of why and hopes and dreams and beliefs and all of that, you were still busy. It's not a matter of fault. It's just the way it is. I always found it so weird that you don't find Asari armor. And there literally is no Asari armor. It's all just Asaris wearing light human armor. I mean, I don't care one way or the other, but it is unusual. Actually, you know, I have a theory on that. I'll have to remember it later. So yeah, we'll talk to everybody, check out 1 or 2 codexes maybe, and we'll call it an episode. Can you hear me out there? Help! I'm trapped in a bubble. Okay. Williams, you're up. Alright, been a bit of a bit.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
A single word.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up what's her name? Tassoni?
You talking about Liara?
Liara? Why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her. I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
Yeah, that's cool.
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her? Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Oh, I didn't, but why not tell me about you people?
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made chief. First thing he did was salute.
That's cool.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise.
One would
She has a
hope.
degree in planetary geology. She and dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
A bit of irritation right there. Interesting. The optimum thing is for somebody to be raising the children. Or at least to be a consistent individual within the home, statistically proven. I suspect that's the case even in the 22nd century.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
That's because he was. Jesus Christ. Ooh, I feel bad for you, bro.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that tends to happen, them raising siblings depending on how old they are and who's doing what job and whatnot.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Interesting. Tell me about it.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Pushy / worried. These things don't mix now. Come on now.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Interesting. Well, no obviously means no, but if you pay attention nowadays, quite a few say, why? What happened to the persistence? No more persistence. Be persistent. Fellas, only pay attention to that if she actually likes you, otherwise it's nonsense.
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed.
Okay.
She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Okay. So, I'm assuming him wanting to do the deed also resulting in him wanting to force the issue. Otherwise, him tasting tree doesn't really make sense. But let's go with this.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
Interesting. Wouldn't solve the real problem, huh? Interesting.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
You obviously learned Marine, but...
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Alright. Cool.
You said all of your sisters?
Oh, it's the same thing.
They do great things to her figure, though.
I mean, family's family.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Well, that was quite a bit of an extension in terms of his choices. But again, this whole tree thing, did he try to force the issue? Because if he took her to this walk, obviously wanting to do the deed, and he didn't force the issue, he went in for a kiss or something, and she decided to nervously Aikido his ass into a tree, and then she effectively listed him as the school creeper. You shouldn't be surprised he's screaming in your face and wants to lay you out. But beyond that, hey, I mean, you went too far, kid.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
One hopes the rule applies in the other direction. But, again, as I said, if the kid went too far, he got exactly what he should have got. There's a lot of gaps in this. I don't expect to really get the full details, but there's a lot of gaps in this. Interesting regardless.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there.
I agree.
I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I always did like poetry. Never really got deep into it, but I always did like it.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
That is just because I can drill you from a does not mean I don't like sensitive stuff. It's like saying just because I can just because I can swim doesn't necessarily mean that I do actually like water from time to time. I mean, I'm just particularly good at it. It tends to stick to me from time to time, and I tend to wake up there a lot, but well, actually no, that was kind of a bad one. It was the phrasing she used. It was like, okay, it was like, I'm sensitive, I'm nice, I'm cool. Love me! You heard me, love me!
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
I can respect that.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
No, it's not actually. I do as well. I make it a point to reference it from time to time.
You know that old saw, there's never an atheist in a foxhole? I've been in a lot of foxholes.
Yeah, I guess you have. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez.
Definitely weird.
Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
I can see why people would, you know, think that there's nothing out there. One of the main reasons that people like to think there's nothing out there, even though they're willing to acknowledge the possibility that things like magic might exist, not from a mystical standpoint, but from a scientific standpoint, actual magic, just like it's not like demons and all of that. It's like A plus B equaling C. You're literally solving math equations and you're coming out with magic, not science that looks like magic, actual magic. Or they say reality can be altered in any way, shape, and form, from any number of things to black holes to other things. But somehow, some way, there can't be some sentient being, or as a lot of folks like to call him, the space wizard, that exists and alters reality on some sort of intellectual level. And that never made any sense to me. But if you really look at it, most of the reason most people don't want to believe in religion, I'm sorry about that, or at least some higher being, is because they don't want to be judged. That's most humans. We don't want to be judged. We don't. And it's understandable as to why. I mean, you're effectively told.
We'll talk later, Williams.
That thing you were doing, yeah, that don't do that. That's the bad thing. And not only is that the bad thing, you're gonna be going to the worst place you could ever go. Judgment is it's rough. It's painful. Nobody wants to deal with that. It's not something that can be blamed. It's just life. You're not weird for not wanting to be judged. You're not even weird for not wanting to believe in anything beyond yourself. I find it weird, but it doesn't make you weird to not want to believe in anything beyond yourself. It just makes you a person. At the end of the day, either I'm right or you are. It is what it is. I'm not bothered if you don't believe. You shouldn't be bothered if I believe. As far as I'm concerned, pull up a chair. There's a slab of ribs over there. Grab one. Do not touch anything with your hands, as I won't do with mine. Let's get comfortable. Let's watch the game.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
I don't care where you come from. I just care what you do. Now, where you come from may matter more than we would like, and as such, we can't ignore those things. But beyond that, I don't care. Show up. Just show up. Do your part. So much money. And in the end, it's barely anything. Oh, you'll see. Numbers like this, 304,000, they're gonna become normal. Extremely normal. Alright, knock out a couple of codices and we'll progress on them.
After the geth. In the early 21, the
we knocked that out.
Humanity. The Citadel is an ancient deep. The Council.
I'll go ahead and give us Citadel space. I thought I had.
Citadel space is an unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. At first glance, it appears this territory encompasses most of the galaxy. In reality, however, less than 1% of the stars have been explored. Even Mass Effect FTL drive is slow relative to the volume of the galaxy. Empty space and systems without suitable drive discharge sites are barriers to exploration. Only the mass relays allow ships to jump hundreds of light years in an instant, the key to expanding across an otherwise impassable galaxy. Whenever a new relay is activated, the destination system is rapidly developed. From that hub, FTL drive is used to expand to nearby star clusters. The result is a number of densely developed clusters, thinly spread across the vast expanse of space, connected by the mass relay network. Pharos is a habitable world in the Attican Beta cluster. 2/3 of the habitable surface is covered with the ruins of a crumbling Prothean megatropolis. In the millennia since the Prothean extinction, the ruins have been repeatedly picked over by looters many times. Pharos was considered a poor prospect for colonization, as little open ground remains for agriculture. The only sizable freshwater sources are the poles, which are tapped by the decaying Prothean aqueduct systems. The dead cities, while in good condition considering their antiquity, are of uncertain stability. Ground level is congested by a dozen meters of fallen debris, and the air is fouled by dust. In 2178, the Human Exogeny Corporation announced its intention to place a permanent colony on Pharos to thoroughly explore the ruins. The pioneer settlement was placed on the upper levels of several intact skyscrapers, using the surviving Prothean aqueducts and rooftop hydroponic gardens to support the population. Noveria is a cool, rocky world with most of its hydrosphere locked up in massive glaciers. A privately chartered colony world, the planet is owned by the Noveria Development Corporation Holding Company. The NDC is funded by investment capital from 24 high-technology development firms and administrated by an executive board representing their interests. The investors built remote hot labs in isolated locations across Noveria's surface. These facilities are used for research too dangerous or controversial to be performed elsewhere, as Noveria is technically not part of Citadel space and therefore exempt from Council law. By special arrangement, Citadel's special tactics and reconnaissance agents have been granted extraterritorial privileges, but it remains to be seen how committed the Executive Board is to that principle. Given its unique situation, it is understandable that Noveria is often implicated in all manner of wild conspiracy theories. The Terminus systems are located on the far side of the Attican Traverse, beyond the space administered by the Citadel Council or claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. It is populated by a loose affiliation of minor species, united only in their refusal to acknowledge the political authority of the Council or adhere to the Citadel conventions. Their independence comes at a price. The Terminus is fraught with conflict. War among the various species is common, as governments and dictators constantly rise and fall. The region is a haven for illegal activities, particularly piracy and the slave trade. At least once a year, a fleet from the Terminus invades the nearby Attican Traverse. These attacks are typically small raids against poorly defended colonies. The Council rarely retaliates, as sending patrols into the Terminus systems could unify the disparate species against their common foe, triggering a long and costly war. There are between 200 and 400 billion stars in the galaxy, and less than 1% of them have ever been visited or had their systems properly surveyed. Humanity's early expansion into the Attican Traverse was haphazard, a desperate race to claim habitable planets where populations can be economically settled. Ignored in the wake of this land grab were thousands of less hospitable worlds, each potentially rich with industrial resources. The wealth of entire solar systems lies untapped, waiting for corporate survey teams or independent pioneers to discover and exploit them. However, this is not an easy task. In addition to the environmental hazards, the fact that uncharted worlds are largely ignored makes them popular bases for criminals, revolutionaries, cults, and others who wish to remain unnoticed by galactic society.
Yep. And that last statement further reinforces what I was talking about, what the council was talking about. Humanity just jumps at new territory, leaving less hostile territory alone. We ended up on Eden Prime. And then we got attacked. And then the council doesn't really deal with fringe colonies because it could start wars, just as the Terminus System Codex just told us. But that is going to be the end of episode 7. Yeah, I'm going to actually need to retitle this because it was based on being able to go back to the Citadel. Nope. But if you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, a follow, a subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And God bless you. Catch you in the next one, folks.